Good afternoon. Welcome to GoFor Lunch. Glad you could join us today. So let's jump right in and talk about CES 2024 on GoFor Lunch for January 16th, 2023. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and this extravaganza is brought to you by GoFor Technology, where we make your technology work for you. This is National Nothing Day. So you can choose to do nothing today and be right in this holiday spirit. Now, in my extensive research about Nothing Day, I found that there is a Nothing, Arizona. It's about 193 miles northwest of Phoenix. It is an uninhabited town. When it was in its heyday, it had all of 4 residents, a gas station, and a convenience store. And now this is where the gas station was. You can see there's nothing there. There is a cell tower there now, but that's a good place to go if you wanted a road trip for National Nothing Day. So CES, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show, but now they just say CES. It's put on every year by the Consumer Technology Association, and their theme this year is All On. So let's start off with some things that you might be interested in. For example, you might want a nice monitor for a new Mac Mini or a Mac Studio. So Samsung has their M80D 32-inch monitor. It has a USB-C charging connectivity, so you can charge your devices from it. It supports AirPlay 2. It has an integrated webcam, and it has smart TV features, so you could actually use it as a television set. And this is what it looks like. The estimated cost is $700. It's not quite available yet. You can see here is the webcam up on top. So a nice looking monitor, and a lot less expensive than an Apple display, although it is not as high resolution. So here is a company that makes monitors that would work with your Apple device. They started at 27-inch and go up to 32-inch with a touch screen. So those of us that may have, touched our screen because we've been using our iPhone or our iPad, now you can actually make that touch do something. It's from a company called Alogic, and they cost between $800 and $1,400. They currently have a 20% discount off those prices. So the 32-inch UHD 4K monitor is the one with the touch screen and the other features here that we discussed. So another alternative for a monitor. The same company, Alogic, makes the Matrix Ultimatum 3-in-1 charger. So it does MagSafe charging for your iPhone. It will charge your Apple Watch on a little shelf behind the device, and on the base it will charge your AirPods. It's $136, including the 20% discount, and it looks like this. Now, the unique thing about this charger is that it has a battery pack that slips out of the charger stand. So you can take this battery pack with you to charge your iPhone on the go, And when you get back home, you slip it in the stand, it recharges, and you're ready to go. Comes with a nice little travel case, a charging cable, and, which is somewhat usual these days, an actual AC adapter. So, nicely designed device. You probably heard of OtterBox cases. Now they're making one of cactus leather. Of course, it has reinforced corners for shock absorption. It has raised edge to keep the camera safe, and a screen lip to protect your display. Hi, Judy. So cactus leather is sourced from the nopal cactus, which we normally call prickly pear. So this is what it looks like. You can see the protection here around the camera. And so the story here is that cactus leather requires less land, water, and resources than producing cases out of leather. So when the mature prickly pear pads are gathered, the rest of the cactus remains alive and healthy for reharvesting again in the future. Any of us that have had prickly pear in our yards know that they are pretty good at growing, so that's why it is sustainable. Well, Chipolo has the perfectly imperfect card spot. So what they've done with this AirTag-like device is they've taken advantage of plastic that would have not passed quality control, and they have used it. So it works with Apple's Find My network. It's $35, and it looks like this. So it's a wallet-sized AirTag equivalent. And you can see here they branded it with perfectly imperfect on the back. And you can see here that it's fairly thin. They say it's the thickness of 3 credit cards. That looks to me like it's thinner than that. But just be aware it could be kind of thick and take up some room in your wallet. But it works the same as an AirTag, lets you find the object that it is inserted into from anywhere it might have ended up. Then we have the Ivoxia Mini Tails Smart Pet Tracker. So this will measure the heart rate and the breathing rate and the location, as well as automatically detecting and recording your dog's activities. It costs $99, but there is a subscription of $129 a year, or $229 for 2 years. So they will have a version for cats in the future, but here it is. It just fits on the collar. You can see they're measuring the heart rate here, the location by GPS, and the activity. And it looks like this. You can see the little rings here to insert the collar. So if you want to keep track of your pet's health and location, this is the device for you. The Saatchi stand and hub for the Mac Mini or Mac Studio. It includes an enclosure for a solid-state drive. It has 1 USB-C port and 3 USB-A ports, the old style port, plus a micro SD card reader and an audio input and output jack. So it looks like this. So it's the same size as your Mac Mini or your Studio. And you have all your extra imports here. On the back, you have a cable that connects to your Mac, and then a compartment here to put an M2 SATA SSD drive. So this could be great for a time machine drive or to add extra storage space to your Mac without paying the rather expensive price that Apple charges. Moxie is the name of a robot that's safe for kids. It uses artificial intelligence, but it has a kid filter that allows kids to engage with AI in a way that's safe for them. So you can see in this comparison here to this little girl, it's probably maybe 18 inches, 24 inches tall, does not move. It just sits there. But while it's sitting there, it does all these things. It does reading, so they can practice reading and speaking skills. It allows them to gain new knowledge. They'll learn fun and educational facts. They can practice listening to Moxies that tell stories with educational themes. It will tell you what happened in this day in history. And coming soon, they have a tutor time feature that will help reinforce what they're learning at school. So a robot to help your child learn. Moxie. Now this next robot does not have a cute name. It is called the LG Artificial Intelligence AI Agent. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? So it is a moving smart home hub. It has an AI agent that connects with and controls the smart home appliances and information of things, devices in your house. So the feature that I thought was most interesting was it will greet you at the door when you come home. It'll use its voice and facial recognition software to determine what your mood is, and then it'll select music or other content to suit your mood. So your robot will cheer you up when you get home. Isn't that grand? So it is mobile, and it uses some kind of a gyroscope to keep it upright, I think. And that gives you a size comparison, so it's not very big, maybe 12 or 14 inches tall. You can see it has a built-in handle, so you can move it around. But since it's mobile, it can do home security tasks. It can patrol your home, and it can watch your pets. So it's a handy little device. Transparent televisions was one of the biggest topics at CES this year. LG brought out the world's first wireless transparent OLED TV. So it looks like this here on the left, and you can see through it. You can see there's a bookcase behind here, and they have a video on the screen with transparent areas to show off its transparency. So you can also configure it to be appear as an aquarium or as a piece of art, but you can see right through it. So it does have a panel that will come up to block the background to give it more contrast, so you can have a better TV picture. So it is not available yet, and there is no price on it. This might be one of those things that if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. Well, Samsung is also in the transparent TV business with a transparent micro LED. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's just a slab of transparent material that has the TV image on it. And again, we can see through. We can see the blue wall behind it. And we think that it will be available this year. Pricing not announced. Well, for you Trekkies that will always wanted a tricorder, here's a closest thing to it that I know of. It's called the Withings BMO Home Checkup. So it has a stethoscope, it has an oxygen sensor, it has an ECG, and a thermometer. And it connects all this data that it gathers through your Apple Health app. So here's what it looks like. This is showing it doing an ECG by placing your fingers on these two sensors. The stethoscope is on one end. This is handy for telehealth. So when your doctor calls you, you can basically transmit your vitals to them from the BeamO. So the Abode Edge is a Wi-Fi hollow. This is new technology for Wi-Fi that has up to a mile range. So it also includes AI technology that will identify people and animals, but it won't trigger on things like blowing tree limbs. It costs $200, and it has a 6-month battery life. And this is what it looks like. So part of the good range on this is, unlike many or almost every Wi-Fi camera that has a built-in antenna, this has a very beefy external antenna to get that signal. So if you have an outbuilding or just an area that your Wi-Fi wasn't reaching for your outdoor camera, this is the solution. So the Aqara U300 lock gives you several methods of entry. It interfaces with Apple Home. You can use your fingerprint. You can use a keypad to put in a combination, or it even has a physical keyhole when necessary. So this circular area here is the keypad, so you get a touchpad that illuminates when you touch it. Your biometric or your fingerprint sensor is here, and this whole little section right here peels back to reveal a lock. So you can open this when you're standing in front of it, or you can also open it for guests or workmen when you're not home, and know when they come and when they leave. So it's a great lock that kind of checks all the boxes. Then we have the Ecovacs X2 Omni robot vacuum cleaner. So it has an interesting feature that is somewhat unique, and that's on the base station. It also has a handheld vacuum cleaner, and that vacuum cleaner empties automatically into the same bin as the robot vac, which also mops. It auto empties, and it will do hot air drying after it mops. So they've kind of thought of everything. So it is a little pricey at $1,150. And this is the unit here. So you might notice that unlike all the other RoboVacs on the market, it is not round. It is square. Here is the hand vac on the side, and then this is the bin that automatically empties the dirt from both of the vacuums and also changes the water for the mop. So it takes out the dirty water, puts in clean water. So and then they have some attachments here that you can store in this little drawer. So a really nice robotic vacuum cleaner. So that's my highlights for the Consumer Electronics Show. If you haven't already, please write down any questions. Zoom did another update, so if you haven't seeing your automatic update indication, then you might want to update to 5.17.2. And T-Mug is tonight. The Tucson Macintosh Users Group meets tonight. Our guest speaker is Jill McKinley, also known as Jill from the North Woods, and she has a very interesting and educational talk called Learn New Technology with Sticks. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The Zoom link for the T-Mug meeting is in the GoFor Gazette, which comes to you every Monday morning at 7 o'clock. So just go back to that and click on the link and you can get in. We have an Ask Me Anything session at 6 and the general meeting starts at 7. So, what do you think about these products at CES? Anybody going to run out and buy the ones that are actually available? So a lot of times at CES, they present concepts and prototypes. And the idea is that buyers from big chain stores like Walmart and Target and Home Depot and Lowe's will visit these shows, and then the manufacturers will judge the acceptance of their new products and decide whether they have enough interest to actually manufacture them. But some of these items are actually on the market today and are readily available. So it's a very interesting show. It covers a bunch of different venues in Las Vegas. And this year, the last estimate I saw is that it drew 120,000 people or more. It lasts for 5 days. And it's a real chore to get around to see everything you want to see. They also have a lot of, it's become a car show or a transportation show. They have a lot of concept cars and flying cars. So we may do a program on that later on. Which brings us to the point that if there's anything you want to learn more about, you can give me a call or send me an email, and I'd be glad to do a presentation. So without any without any further questions, we'll call it a day. Hope you have a great one. We'll see you here next Tuesday at high noon for GoFor Lunch.